Hello, welcome to the space time. Today is Sunday. Normally, it's a day of peacefulness to dress well and reunite with the wall, with the wall of God, your village, your family, with your best dresses, your best shoes if you have. It's not a day or place in time to worship anything but a holy day that is Sunday. The Arab community have it on Monday, or is it Saturday? They start the week on Sunday to work. They believe to be ahead because they start working one day before. In the same way, the people in Japan think to be ahead because the sun rises before. In the same day we share and time. Normally I don't talk on Sundays, but it's to be holy. Today there was a customer whose granddaughter's name and her sister was with her. So both share the happiness to what they were shopping. The elements on this earth not just have movement and meaning and a force of its own and chemistry. These elements do have value. How we handle our values, how we work and handle and talk to one another for what is needed. So her name was Holly. Holly. People help me to think about what's been written in history, why they pick their names, the meaning of the name, how it's written in English. So she said it comes from a branch and it's two L's, not one. It's not of holiness from as divine, but from the branch in Christmas, which comes from a bush. But I said, well, it must be also as holy, because they were jolly and laughing. At that moment, I realized that it has a lot of modesty, because the ladies, British ladies, of course, they have a natural modesty that does not only come from reading the Bible and sharing these names. Might be more jolly for the British to have a name as beautiful as Holly. Which I said I'm going to study on it. I would love my granddaughter to be named Holly. But of course, I have 3 children, so it's up to them. It's a beautiful name. It has modesty. I was thinking of my first daughter, Devi. It took me a long time to get her name. So we have gathered here today for one purpose. I know that many of you, not just a few, but many of you, don't believe in God, don't believe in the metaphysical. You might have memories from your spirit and the dead, but you don't have a memory of higher realms, celestial realms, and higher consciousness. You do not have the depth and the track of memory to remember why are you here. You do not believe in a higher source because you are invincible. No one will rule over you. You are higher by a company, a man, and all these people who has investments and alliances and a pipeline where you'll share these decisions. So why you should believe in God? Why would you be a spiritual person to have spiritual retreat with the nuns, with the priest, with the Buddhists or the Sufis in the Sahara, if they're still alive, to pray and live in prayer all your life. You're here to win a game and to prove that you're a scientist, you are a man who is an engineer, and you'll speak to the public with treason, even to your own Jew community. As an Arab man or woman, you would honor that from all your ancestors who made spectacular architectures and prayers and poetry and shared the same foods and lovemaking from the skin of their people. So you're talking to a collective mind that's running through the internet. But at the same time, when you pray, you're also in connection to the divine, from the divine, when you let go of your ego and have given yourself. On this generation and generations forward, you have not given yourself for torture or sacrifice, nor to be a martyr. None others. We have people that from now on in the past, before 2025, have sacrificed their own people to have more power. These are people from the left and the right who will benefit from the deaths of good men. Of their own men. In the past, we used to name man to refer to women and men. Period. So what has man become today for those who are in power and are leaders? Would people trust there is hope, justice? Would people play the game to not be eliminated? To be part of the party? We have leaders from all around the world who would do anything to remain on power. But anything. Not just leaders, but workers that would do anything for money. Power, the pursuit of power, but I'm not talking about divine and absolute power of God and that grants not just redemption but generosity. You will see people marketing God to have Christians supporting them. They will be working it for money as well. You will have warriors killing in the name of God as well. To seduce women in churches, good women. You will find a lot of psychopaths as well. Targeting their own people as if they would be ahead, but they can't. And they will question themselves. People from secret agencies as well. Trying to strategize how to market another scandal, how to protect your game. You will have people putting their hands together, upside down, as if they are praying and conjuring for the devil, for money, for what's in the earth, what's hidden, what's the material world. In India, people salute themselves with a namaste, from master to master. Any single normal person would just say namaste, or with their hands. Up. As a salute. Many good people will pray and ask God in prayers. Witches too will be doing witchcraft to manipulate, to get things. Men of today manipulating, not really trusting in the works of God. I do pray. I do pray. I do pray. Through stories I pray. That's my form of prayer. When I role play, is a prayer. As if some ears would listen in the strings of consciousness and memory. It is not to vent reality. So it's understood from the unconscious invasion of privacy. Today is the birthday of the Pope Leo, Leone. He's 70. He's young. He's young. Now, spiritual power can also be corrupted. To think you have more power with God than another. It's not like the power of leadership. Witchcraft is also very corrupted, because you're taking away people's trust to be manipulative, make them believe you know more when they can see with their own eyes. Christianity has evolved throughout the world with different religions and systems of belief, branches from the same first shouts of when Jesus was crossed. Jesus became an idol where men would unite to share the same stories on the same page. No one really knows the origin of Jesus and what really happened. But those creatures were taking care from men who knew how to write, taking care as if it was for eternity, from eternity. Those writings were fought for throughout so many people. So many people have carried the word after Jesus gave himself. He knew very well he would be remembered. And he stood to his own right. All his love and the conditional love he was given around him while he was alive, the devotion he had around him. So he continued, was transformed into pain and tremendous anger and resistance. To give up what he meant. He did not wish for heaven on earth when he gave himself to the cross. That was against his own religion while he was preaching a life. And Mary Magdalene would have fought with him, so he doesn't give himself to the cross. She'd ask, I've given you everything in love, harmony, to reunite everyone together. Yeah. All that magic and bread and wine and food and welcoming people and hosting them. Behind Jesus, the prophets, because who came before or later from all the apostles? Who was the first ones? Who were the first ones? Having unconditional love to Jesus. With men of the word who knew how to write, scribans on those times, who came from wealthy families, or after their parents who were also writers. They had to come from educated people, whether they have money of their own or not. Since there were many scribans working for the wealthy ones who control the cities and the marketplace. So people pay their debts and they would have accountability of what was sold in the stock. People who knew how to handle values. Yeah. Jesus didn't know how to write. He was a very humble, beautiful man. As I was taught as a child from the priest, woman would fall in love with him. There were many stories being told of the kind of beauty that he had that was supernatural. It was not normal, the grace he had. So it was said in this way. So he forgot his connection through the divine. He was furious in his own, as God would have been. So it is God who makes a curse in the same way he would have done to the towers of Babylon in Iran, ancient Babylonia. So you will think, who am I really? I love power. I love how I'm being seen. I love the international news more than the colloquial or national. I want to invest all my money for the international sakes of my religion and my country, not really for my people. You might say or think, where is this story goes anyways? What is it that I want? Spiritual power is political power, international leadership is well used and abused. But for the Catholic Church, it is very important to walk out from the church where the people are non-Christian or Catholic. Not only in lands or through water and air, but also in internet. It's going to be many years to see it come. It could be one day of 2025 where our prayers could reunite together from around the world as we are, just as we are. To forgive our sins. So the prayer of Our Father has been changed from the original roots, and it is to forgive those who have sinned against us. It's not to trespass, because God can see through everything. So we can trespass with our love. We can transform with our forgiveness, by example, in silence more than with words. Yet Christians have been there, giving their other cheek as well. And the power of miracles the love of the heart, not of the money on the power trips. You must hold sacred how beautiful it is, the meaning of being humble, having modesty, enjoying the beauty of the ordinary life. Whatever it is, with a car or a spaceship or walking among the fields, under the rain, alone, through the fog in winter, in the early morning. There is a timeless time where you feel forgiven, not forgetful that you have forgotten, but full of this miracle. An eternity walks through you. You can only understand this through role play. You can understand the sickness through role play. You can role play the sickness and give many characters to the problematics that compose a sickness, and you will find the solution. So it is to everyone, to live longer, to adapt to solutions that are immediate, to be as one. You will hug the problem itself to understand the solution. You would be another person. So you cannot enter to this unless you forgiving. It is said that God can forgive you if you don't forgive others. It's very hard to forgive. Being aware of what's been done is very difficult for the ordinary mind to understand and reason. How could you allow this to happen again if you forgive? So in the early days, it was to forgive the debts of those who owned you. And that is the whole purpose of the Christian faith, to teach and learn through that what was given, and have good deeds consciously. So the Anglican Church has place to trespass. To pass over. Alexander pass the river, to pass by, to pass away. What is that? Really, what is the fiber and meaning of this verse? You can see the split and the difference from the times of Henry. You want to get divorced? Fine, get divorced. You want to change the church to your coin? Mark your own. Have all the money for yourself. If you want the credits, put everything on your name. Also the money, the power, the religion, the beliefs, the cults, the crown. Put it all in your pockets. Or also from the English church, but the Americans taking everything on their account. Yeah? They sit there like if it is their account that other people want to steal from them. That's what thieves do. That's what liars do. That's what sinners do. They're not aware. They will wish to handle it better. So you will have tech titan bringing conspiracy against those who are supporting this movement to unite the technologies to help the world become a better place for everyone on earth as is heaven. And I can say the name and the last name, but I'm tired of it. Where it begins, it will end. So to trespass, as hackers do and thieves do, passing by and away. So how are you going to teach people to pay their debts? Because there's one side of history that says you can go after the pedophiles in the next generation when George is king. Not even William, George. And all the problems in the technological fields. So how many people will be there cleaning your cookies? Not just the ones you have created against you and your people, but against the world. You cannot make them up like that. The world itself is not going to allow it. So if you have a president of the United States of America coming to see the King of England next week, and this is very serious. There's 1, 2, 3. Because this is not for entertainment. This is very serious. This is not for the press to be making new themes or getting some new ideas of what to say. Like if this is funny. This is very serious. Many people will think, oh, she's just getting it from her own abstract mind on this and that, and she's just putting up together. Oh, she's just channeling. Go and have the education I had, the discipline I had. Go and study day and night. Go and jump non-stop until there is nothing left in your brain with hardcore meditations. Go and pray with the priests. Go and stay with the nuns for weeks and months. Go. Go and have the most hardcore discipline and enjoy life to the fullest, to understand the sinners as well. Why don't they know how to measure? Question yourself. You would question if you had such a high education. Just to put some words together for you. Don't look at me down thinking that this is to make it your own, in your own terms. So President Trump is coming to have a dinner with the king. The king and the queen. The King Charles wants his wife to be called and known as Her Highness the Queen. And he's coming with, I guess, Melania Trump. For dinner. Now this is the first dinner with the President of the United States of America. And the king has been the most trained king as no other queen. To have this dinner. Yeah. He has been a prince for many years, watching his mother, the Queen Elizabeth, II, who had dinner with many presidents from United States. In Windsor, the high security is higher than when the President of France came here. Even the bridge where the people walk, no cars, is being closed. But this security is not because there is murders in Europe or United Kingdom. This is to protect the monarchy from the Trump administration, I believe. Only because it's the only who will attempt the Russians do that, like Putin, bombing their own offices. That was when Putin came on power as well. But to believe that some people are being manipulated through internet, vulnerable people, you would never imagine how this happens unless you had the knowledge and understanding of how secret intelligence works within the technological systems. And these systems are owned by United States of America. None of the tech titans from USA is going to help the regulations, not even Elon Musk, all right? So he's no hero. Not that China is any better. So anything given in a good faith can take more than 10 years to forgive. It's not going to happen throughout a century, that I can promise you. There's a lot of people gathered around the world to make this as fast as possible. So the partition of each country for the technological field within their own regards and memory field is guarded to take care of their people, with their people, and their freedom of expression, to learn, to communicate, to feel, to see, to reason, to rationalize. So it is to forgive those who have sinned against us, trespass in their belief. They think to own our domain because they have a platform that can be taken away in a second, and we have our own. While many people around the world want to give a pass so the world is taken care of, many are away and suspicious until how far is this going to take? For the multiverse, as on any technological layer and platform, that's the cut of the cake. Through layers. The piece of the cake is for each country according to how many people they have and their territories, how big their territories are, and how much they produce, consume, and human rights are being played accordingly, which count within the universal understanding. At least to 85% of the people that have nearly all of the human rights. You always have new people coming in and out who are learning. So free speech with moderation, it is good. Not as it has been played in the past to bring a prime minister down So you are a prime minister. That's very anti-patriotic, by the way, as my name is Patricia. All right. So in the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit, for whatever it is that transcends through you and is to pass for other people. I want the President of America to walk respectfully with the King Charles, not as he did before with the Queen Elizabeth II, with brotherhood, as in the Arthurian times, as my father is Arthur. Now, of course, you might say, why is your father Arthur? What does that have to do? Well, my father was known as Arturo, in the same way the Prince William is known in Spain as Guillermo, el Príncipe Guillermo. Yeah. De Gales. So you're born with these names and meanings. You come to transcend yourself and play the game the best way you can with all your powers and what you have learned, because you have to do that, otherwise they would do it against you. So we don't want American national war coming to the world because of left and right. None of us wants that. So is it to be forgiving? I don't think so. In the same way, Jesus would have been so mad that he would have wished to be crucified before being against his own will and the will of God. To be remembered in the consciousness of the people forever. So be careful if you want to enter in the kingdom. Do not dare to bring any of your crazy people here to ever think you can manipulate anyone to shoot against you or anyone with your technologies. We have seen how the pedophiles in Facebook are not in jail, and the very members of the Congress of America say it has been already cleared. They already talked about it. These are the people who are holding the technological power of internet. So it is the future to take care of your own. This is the only way that the world can puzzle together, respecting their boundaries, and for each to understand the power they behold to take care of their people. Whether they're Jews or Arabs or Christians or anything they are. to understand the comedy and the humor, the arts, the forms of expression, as if it is in your own skin that you want to enjoy this life, with the touch of the river on a cascade as the rain, with your animals, your family, your neighbors, your brothers and sisters. So it has been from the wars of Troy, where kings have united to fight together against Troy, because a prince took Helen, or the gods were playing with the people. To make believe stories, symbols, meanings. There is a metaphysical world that's been tracked throughout history, and is been safe through priests and nuns and sent to the Vatican as well. I've been a ghost talking behind writers' ears, not just one. How about the spiritual world? Or the truth of other members that's not been written. There is a spiritual realm who takes care, and it has its laws to not abuse the living unless they ask for it. It's as a form of prayer. Because they want people to be happier and free. Not just to understand the abundance of the material, which is blocking you everywhere, to not let it flow for a few who want to run the show for no reason but their own. They want to leave a legacy of last names. So it was not just a Mahehon in the War of Troy. It was with King Arthur, said to be a mythological story, but in United Kingdom as well, uniting Scotland and Ireland, the North, and the South in the near future, as you might see it in the present times. They speak English and have the meaning of why England is England today, with the writers, and across the world is thanks to the Irish people who helped form and shape the word of English. They were people of their heart and comedy and poetry, to make the Shakespearean times more flexible. To the ordinary mind. Of the English. So yes, they are brothers and sisters. Some have been prepared all their life to do one single little movement and step. And you pray. You want to enter someone's mind, asking for directions. How I'm gonna make this work? What is it that I have to do? What would I do? I don't think God or I would ask you to kill anyone. For fuck's sake. Who on earth on 2025 would kill anyone for any reason? You don't need to. If you live on transparency, if you live in a land of peacefulness, trust, speaking the same language, more or less jokingly. Now, if you really wish to destroy someone by bullying someone with venom and toxicity, of course you can go to jail. Who do you think you are to deserve such freedom? We see people supporting political movements in United Kingdom as if it's their own land. Since when on earth have you seen that? I guess the royalty here in United Kingdom might be asking themselves, well, if they want to play the game, let them. Let them play the games of politics. Maybe they want to get close to the British Bank, the Bank of England, and the International Treasury. If you couldn't do that in the country where you are, why would you think you can do that here? You do not know what is freedom of expression yourself. This is what you've been fighting all your life for. You do not know what is the truth you're seeking. You do not know how to role play. You think to have found the key to manipulate minds, as if it is about projecting, making your own decree. Manifesting. And that will come true. Well, you have many people scrolling, posting desires, so it comes true as well. You will have to seek deeper than that if you want the truth. I can assure you. There is no machine on earth that will ever tell you that type of truth in an instant, unless you have found it yourself, to value it as it is your own. Then nothing could corrupt you or your way of thinking to get it. So when you see a king, if you have authority of yourself as a king, as a father to its family, you will never feel jealous or envious or vengeful or hurt, because you had a good father yourself as well. And he made you little as a child. And you still remember your childhood when you see your brother and sister. Yeah. So this is the way I would like to see the president and the king. The president of the United States and the king of the United Kingdom. In the hearts of our people, to see it respectfully, not from one another, but from the president and the king, because those are their titles. First Lady and the Queen Consort. So the King Charles doesn't want to call the Queen Consort, he just wants to call her the Queen. But it's very difficult after the Queen Elizabeth II has died to call Camilla the Queen, because the Queen is still alive in our minds. We grew up with her all our lives. And Diana, the Princess of Wales, died, who could be a queen today. Or simply the mother of the future king, William. Rest in peace. She loved her son pretty much. The Queen Elizabeth, the grandmother of William, will wish to take care of him and all his people, to protect him and support him. But not support him, I say that Diana was just there, so she might be happy to have been there and enjoy so much so far. But Camilla and Charles really loved each other from before being born. They would have been very supportive to all this. Not that they are not being protected, but it's like me to take care of William. Like, I don't have supernatural powers, just to take care of my food and my clothes and get out there to pay my bills and take my computer and iPad to the store so it's not stolen in here, and where are my keys? Here. Where is my watch? My watch's been stolen, but I have to quiet about it because you don't want to make more problems. So I don't even have money to protect this guy. He has the best protection in the world. No internet can protect him. So I ask myself, why? What's going on? They really want to attack the monarchy? What's growing in there from America, from the other continent? They want to use our advancements and the work of all the people who have gone across the world from the colonies, the Christian world, to meet each other as humans of this planet. Forgive ourselves to the atrocities as well of a few, not all. There were many good people as well, most. So what is it in there, I might ask? Who am I to say a word? So I don't have more imagination, and I don't want to worry about anything. I don't want to care about anyone, just my children, and see their generation flourish as it's being fought for and designed. The Catholic priests are the only ones who can exorcise. There's no other priest in the Christian collective. From now on, the gates of hell are going to be open. So we must stand together as strong and together as possible. You will see it in your face. You will see the truth with your meditations, with your prayers, immediately, with your faith and trust. Some will know right away, beyond any faith and hope. For those are to transform evil, not to cast away into hell or away. You cannot do it if you forgive to trespass, because you have not seen the pattern of its death. You might see it on Dante's path. Each one has a terrace and a circle of hell. Your circle, your elite. So of course, humanity is not ready to feel as one. If you see pedophiles who want to bring the world together with murder and wars and bullying and making believe stories, and their own people against each other, to murderous headline to be known My manipulation will pull the strings of the average with frustration from horrors, scandals, catastrophes, being recorded. In the same way Jesus knew he would be remembered. That's not heaven. It is the flip of the coin. You do not want Christians or Catholics to flip the coin again. It was good to some extent for people to learn from their sins and their punishments, from feeling guilty, taking consciousness. Some psychopaths would never feel it because they are attached to the death and the beyond. So they are what they call in Buddhism detached in a good sense, because they are beyond emotion and thinking. But they do need the adrenaline of the death or edge of the last breath. To fulfill their targets. Keep that height. They might not have the potential to transform, or they might be learning to transform as gold is being transformed. Words can heal and transform. Many will want to change people's minds, invent ideas, and create balance as manipulate minds to their behalf. So bringing the unconsciousness to the light in the present is the work of Catholics, Apostolic and Roman. I invite all the churches in the world and temples to transform the metabolism into awareness. It's still going to be there, but have it aware of itself without having to cast away. Some priests know how to cast away because they cannot transform it. They have to, if they want to keep a land as holy as possible, or a person that's been possessed by the devil. And when I mean possessed by the devil, it could be any spirit or a person who is alive next to you. It could be your wife as well, or your husband, or the person you think to trust most. Your beloved father could possess your life and mind and heart, or mother, everyone. Some might not care because they think to not have a soul. They might not think to not have a heart of their own. They just love power. But They don't love power because they are powerful. They lack understanding of why they were placed there. From who? Originally. You wish to know and remember if it was today. You will love to bring this richness and abundance and state of bliss into the world. Eternal blissfulness. Divine rage of the highest core. You would gather together and sit together in peace and accordance to make this possible throughout all the nations, respectfully to their leaders, to forgive them as well. As the Lord forgives us, whom forgive others. And that is the great metamorphosis. We have great resources for the spiritual realms of consciousness. We have an abundance of practices from the mind and the body, and meditations, exercises to achieve this witnessing that is to be present. I've learned with Osho in India and his friends, people. I've learned to meditate with a nun that was going to the Vatican. That was the sister of our neighbor. She would stop by our house often. She would be with us, children. And she helped me. She helped me. I felt privileged to be next to a nun who would tell me her stories, was how she took care of a school in South America, Chile, and devoted her life to Christianity. But she also carried the I Ching from China, and she liked the teachings of meditations from India as well. But she said that she was devoted to her work, and there's no other religion that has so much mercy and generosity like Christians do. And they're allowed to study other religions as well. But we Christians have moved beyond the Bible, and we still carry the Bible, and we still wish to share the Bible with you. For the Third Testament, as there are many practices and meditations, as there have been so many warriors to make it till today faster. We wouldn't be here without them. We don't need them to suffer anymore or fight for anyone or any future. You have the freedom and power to free them and to bring your communities to a standard beauty by their own choice and design. You will like to be respectful to a king who is welcoming you with the most highest respects of all kind, who is ready to befriend you with the world at large, as you would to your own people, to hold the key of a completely new, different chapter and system. I'm not going to talk about the metaphysical world, what can you do and that, and how can you move a spoon or a chandelier. I won't say that I'm a saint. Oh, I would say the spiritual world loves the dead, that's for sure. It doesn't care about life or death. The spiritual world is beyond life and beyond death as well. It has higher heights. Not everyone enters in spirit, alive or dead. So look for it, look for it. Confess all your sins, if possible, for all those who have served you and you have hurt. You might not be forbidden, but you still have a lot of work to do to pay your debts. Before the next generation comes, so it's clear. It can only happen to all the world at the same time. It can be finished very quickly with nuclear bombs on precise, exact places only. Israel, Moscow, and North Korea. because they're hurting our brothers and sisters. There's no reason to do that anymore. There is no promised land, but deep within yourself to create a heaven around you, to feel it, to be in a state of consciousness and harmony and love and surrendering and devotion and transformation and sharing and expressing and being in silence and full of bliss and ecstasy and healthy and beautiful and understanding and intrigue, to wonder in human intelligence and positivity, whom I know more than you and I. That's the greatest gifts of all, to have conquered and protect and care. You want your future generations to be wiser, eons light from understanding these mechanics and form of engineering that has been beyond your own knowledge and possession, because you've been conquered to do so as well with others, and allow the beauty of being together, no matter what they say or judgments. Allow the abundance to run through you. Allow the human nature of goodwill, of good humor, to relieve from the past holes of tensions, to multiply and reign through. It would be unforgettable. You will see people trying to manipulate important influencers as journalists, as if they are going to choose who is the next president of the United States of America, because it's not in the algorithm, and it could be. When you have the potential to love, you won't need any mediator. You would love to meet the priest. You would love to listen to the priest. Not because you need a mediator to bring you followers for your campaign, for their love and their support and energy. You will transform, bringing humanity upwards, letting them progress. You would see there is no other one like you. If you can do it in 1 second, If you have the power to do it, you will. If you have the knowledge, you would know you need the leaders from around the world to be together. Respecting their territories and people, possessions. In the material and in the spiritual, they also have their demons, unconscious pain from the past, who wants to take over the throne of God or any leader and king. But a king that does not respect his son would be like, in Greek mythology, Cronus. Or Pallas. Athena chopped the head of his father because of being unrespectful. This force is known as Pallas Athena. The generation has a lot of cleansing to do. And putting and chipping. Taking the freedom from people who are innocent and the lives as well of people. Castrating their form of expression. You don't deserve to be here. Other people could do it better than you. It could work directly throughout all the people in the world without yellow press, without fakery of being a good person. You know who you are. You have hurt not only one person who you think is your nemesis to be the one, but so many people. It's not to teach others what is better, but your own as yourself. Not only you don't deserve it, but you're dangerous. This is why they keep you at bay. But you shouldn't be here sitting with us. It is of mine to forgive you, because I can understand where you come from. You try to put yourself in my face. You only pray and work all the energy that's given to you for your image with one sentence: I am this, but you're not. This is all a projection, a manifestation, mind manipulation, and an abuse of power. The energy is not given for that. The energy of the wall is not for that. It's blocking the energy to go to the right direction and order. In this time, for a long, long, long time. So think with your people, because your people are the one who are going to take you away. You cannot do it yourself. It's unforgivable. It will obstruct the goodness for the collective to happen. Not because you are not the best, which you are not the best or the greatest. It's because you don't even know how to talk. And you lie against the people who trusted you. A king would never do that. Nor a queen. In the image of humans to humans, what is to forgive and how long it takes to be forgiven. So I would forgive you in the sense of eternity, as I forgive myself for having to carry this pain. For having to watch this. So it is erased and transformed into goodness for those who need it. There's no need to change people who love themselves. There's nothing wrong with it. But people who want to harm others so they can be loved, that's very different. So they can be liked, that is very different. So they can be voted or believed on, that is very different. That creates harm and unreasonable thinking and feeling in the environment. To understand the mechanics of the finance system is to understand how generous is nature, and it keeps multiplying. It keeps showing its cycles through the weathers. prosper. For those who want to prosper. You would have wished to know how to pray before. If you knew how to prosper, after having so much prosperity on and on, infinitely, throughout the eternities, you would have wished to know how to pray and what is to live in prayer. For not all those know what prayer really is. It's not to ask out of desires what you want. That's not living in prayer. To materialize. But to transform evil into sanity. Into redemption. To convert, to transform yourself on and on as well. To revive love. That always gives. To descend until there is no soul trapped in hell. You will love to pray and know the meaning of metamorphosis. Meanwhile, I let you to your own devices, to your own games, to feel the pain and the weight of your sins, how much it has cost you. If you could give a last word to the person that has given you so much power, what would it be? As a form of prayer. All your weapons would be dropped in the floor when you realize how quickly and magnificent it can be to give yourself in to this prayer and work of God. So it's up to you. Cut and peace. Is on you.